everybody. Just got done warming up for today. I'm gonna go shoot our 3D course here at the shop to get ready for the OPA. Trying to get as much practice in as I can. Been practicing quite a bit. Haven't done a video in a while, so that's why I probably should catch you up on what I've been doing for the last 2 months. So I'm gonna shoot and talk about how the tournaments have been going and what I've been doing mostly. So the last video I did was just before I went to Arizona. So I've gone to 4 shoots since then, and done pretty well. Arizona wasn't as good as I wanted it to be, but the other ones, Redding pretty much was my best one. Arizona, I did better than I expected, and did pretty, for my first USAT in a long time, it was it was fun. I've done one more since then. Went to Gator Cup, which was the week after Redding, but Arizona, I qualified with a 698, I think, or 697. One of those, and made it to elimination rounds. I won my first match and lost my second match, just like typical old Lewis Price. And after that, I don't know exactly where I finished. I haven't found any of the final rankings, but I was okay with that. Wish I could have done a little better in my second match, but then I had a few weeks off and went to South Dakota Classic, and that one I did okay at. I guess I shouldn't say okay. I dropped 4 points, so it was a 596, and I was a little disappointed in that because the year before I only dropped 2, so I was hoping to get better instead of worse, but it still put me in a good spot for eliminations. I ended up winning. I think I ended up winning my first one and lost my third one. I forget what one it was, but I lost to Chris Perkins in a 1-arrow shoot-off, which can't complain. We both shot 149s in our match, and he beat me by like a ½ inch for closest to center. So. Okay, I'm going to shoot off the tower today. 8-yard shot at -39 degrees. OPA last year had this, actually I don't remember the degrees down, but it was a steep one, so I'll make sure my marks are good for this. Missed the first one, got the second one. The angle is crazy. That was more difficult than I thought. So, with South Dakota, after that 1-arrow shoot-off with Perkins, my day was over. After that, I finished 9th there, tied with a whole bunch of guys. They don't do any tiebreakers, I guess, but that's fine. And then I went home and started practicing for Redding. I'm going to pull my arrows, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Redding for sure. So, I ended up getting to California, I think it was Wednesday, which is 2 days before we shoot, but we like to get there, at a good time. We got there around like 5 o'clock, got in our hotel, everything was good. The next day, it was a practice day, so they do it like a blind draw money shoot, and we ended up doing that. It's you got to shoot the lower 14. Wasn't the exact targets we were shooting, but it was pretty much the exact yardage. Some were a little longer than on our actual qualification day, but it was good practice for that. I ended up, I think, cleaning that bottom, and couldn't complain there. Shots felt good, but I wasn't going to shoot that until like the second day. So at least I got some practice in for that. And yeah, and then after that we just hung out, helped people with the booths, and that's about it. So after that we hung out at the hotel, rested up, woke up next morning, and with Redding we start at 8 a.m. is a shotgun start. The walk's pretty good, so you have to get to your stake before then and start right at 8. And my first day I ended up dropping 1 point, and it was on a 28-yard beavers, which are downhill, pretty good angle, but it's a big dot, a real big dot, and so I was kicking myself in the butt for that one. But you know, you just gotta forget about it and just keep going. So I ended up cleaning the rest of that, which I was happy with. I had some targets that I've dropped on the past and finally got those, so I was really happy with that. And so after the first day, 1 down. Going into the second day, sitting pretty good. I was happy with how I shot. Going the second day, have some not too far shots. Like after the first day, I got the elk out of the way and some of the longer ones. I only dropped one on the second day also, and I was a little mad. There was a 47-yard mule deer, I believe, and I hit straight left, so I think I just didn't pay attention to my bubble. It was literally perfect elevation, just left. So probably by like a ½ inch, not even. So that one kind of stunk. Went on, finished strong. So yeah, after 2 days I was only 2 down and tied for first with Paul Tedford. But yeah, me and Paul were tied for sure. And then there was like a 3 down and 4 downs. There's a bunch of those. And so yeah, couldn't complain after the first 2 days. I was kind of happy. I know going into the third day I could, you know, potentially clean it, and that's what I really wanted it to do, but it didn't end up going that way for me. So I just hit the branch, shot him in the neck. That's my second shot, and that's my first shot, which is perfect. So going into the last day of Redding, I was tied with Paul, was happy, was ready to get the last day. The last day I had Bigfoot, and then the bears after Bigfoot. Those were, I think, my furthest shots. I was kind of worried about just the bears, so I went in, I dropped, so just before Bigfoot there's these boars, and again I must have not paid attention to my level and hit that far left, and up to that point I was clean, so that was my first point dropped. And then go to the turkeys after that, get them, and then there's another bears, squirrels, feet, and then Bigfoot. And Bigfoot's at 101, so you know, it's a big dot, but you still got to make some strong shots on that. So ended up 22ing that though, which was stoked about. That's my second time doing that, and go right to the bears that I was worried about, and sure enough got my first one and missed my second one, or vice versa. So I was pretty upset. Honestly, I thought I could have cleaned that day in general, so I was upset with myself for sure. That was the bears uphill, 57 yards of my second to last target, so I really wanted to get that one, and then my last target was like a 25-yarder, so I got that one, which should be worried about still because I dropped the 28 yarder the first day. So you can never take any target for granted. So yeah, I come off the course 4 down, which is pretty good, but I don't know, I wish I could have stayed tied with Paul because Paul cleaned that day and gone into a shoot off with him. So I was pretty upset myself. Coming off the course, he was 2 down. Mikey Slosher was 3 down. Hopefully I said his name right. I can never get the last name right. And then for third, it was me and Jesse tied at 4 down. So me and Jesse had to shoot off, which I was so happy about, and nervous obviously because he's the freak show. He's probably one of the greatest shooters of all time, if not the greatest shooter of all time. And so the shoot-offs are all at the 88-yard elk herd, and it's just closest to center. So we got up and they said go, and we both waited a second, drew back, and then shot our shots. And we actually shot, like, it was pretty cool. I saw the video. We shot like at the same time, so it was pretty sweet. And I ended up hitting, I think 12 o'clock they said. I honestly didn't even look. If I tried to look through my binoculars, I probably would have been shaking so much I wouldn't even known really. So shot my shot, looked at some people and said, hey, like, where are they? And they said mine was at 12 and his was at 9. They couldn't tell. So, and like nobody could tell. They were close. So we waited a little bit and the judges measured the arrows and I ended up beating them. So once I heard that, I was like, holy cow, like I was surprised with myself, but very happy at the same time. So I got to go against pretty much my idol. After Reading was over, I literally came home. I think I got home Tuesday morning at 9 or 11, somewhere around there. And we had to leave, I think we got down there Wednesday or Thursday. I was home for like a half a day, maybe a day. And then we went to Gator Cup. So actually my father and my mother went with me, which was cool. We got to see some family while we were down there, which was really nice. I was glad to see my aunts and my uncles. So Gator Cup went pretty good too. Qualified really well. I qualified in second, right behind Stefan Hansen, and I think he beat me by like 1 or 2 points. I think it was 2, something like that. But I was pretty happy with how I shot there. Besides the eliminations, when I went to eliminations, my first match I almost lost. Tied the kid, and we went into a 1-arrow shoot-off and ended up beating him there. But went into my second match against Alex Wiffler, and he shot really well that one. He shot a 149, and I shot a 147. So he beat me there, and I was done. But I got to watch my dad take third, which was cool. His first USAT tournament, and he takes third, so it was a fun time. For OPA, I got a few different arrows I'm going to try. I shot my X10s all last year, but I think I'm going to use the Super Drive 23s for anything 30 and in. I was thinking 40 and in, but I think I feel more confident with 30 and in or 35 and in. I'll decide, depending on the target at the OPA, I'll decide, okay, what arrow to use. So, but yeah. So other than that, I think that's about it. Been just working. It's been a fun training session for the last 5 weeks. So hopefully it'll pay off at the OPA.